This message is for the ones who loved deeply, the ones who stayed loyal, the ones who gave without manipulation. If you were betrayed, this is not about revenge. This is about truth. Because there's a psychological law of life that many people don't understand. You can betray a good heart, but you can't escape what that betrayal does to you. 1. A good heart is rare. A good heart is not someone who is weak. It's not someone naive. It's someone who chooses love over ego. And in a world full of options, attention, and temptation, genuine loyalty is rare. When someone betrays a good heart, they don't realize what they lost because comfort blinds them. They assume, I'll find someone better. They loved me more than I loved them. They'll always be there. But time has a way of revealing value, and usually that realization comes too late. 2. The psychology of guilt. Psychologists call it cognitive dissonance. When someone sees themselves as a good person but acts in a harmful way, their brain creates tension. They can suppress it, they can distract themselves, they can justify it, but they cannot erase it. At night, in silence, when there's no validation, the memory returns, not because you're haunting them, but because their conscience is. 3. Comparison is brutal. Here's what really brings it back: the next relationship. At first, the excitement is new, the attention is thrilling, the ego is fed. But eventually, they compare. And comparison is cruel when you lost something real. They start noticing the new person doesn't forgive like you did. The new person doesn't support like you did. The new person doesn't love without conditions like you did. That's when regret quietly enters. Not loudly, quietly. 4. Karma is psychological before it's spiritual. You don't even need to believe in karma for this to work, because karma isn't always about the universe punishing someone. It's about patterns repeating. A person who betrays loyalty often carries restlessness, insecurity, fear of being betrayed themselves. Why? Because once you cross that line, trust becomes fragile, even in your own mind. They start thinking, if I did this, someone can do it to me. And that fear follows them into every future connection. 5. The silence hurts them later. When you don't beg, when you don't chase, when you don't seek revenge, that silence becomes heavy. Because they expected drama, they expected anger, they expected you to fight for them. But when you walk away with dignity, that's when reality sets in. They realize they didn't lose someone toxic, they lost someone good. And good people are hard to replace. 6. Growth changes the story. Here's the part they never expect. You grow. You heal. You glow. You become stronger. And when they see that, it forces reflection. Not because they want you back, but because your strength reminds them of the moment they failed you. And regret is sharper when the person you hurt becomes powerful. 7. Timing is cruel. The hardest part about betraying a good heart is this: the understanding always comes after the loss, never during. When they had you, they saw comfort. When you're gone, they see value. And that delayed clarity, that's what comes back later. 8. But this is not about them. Now let's shift this back to you. Because this isn't about waiting for someone to regret losing you. It's about understanding something deeper. You don't lose when you love genuinely. You lose when you betray that love. If you stayed real, if you stayed honest, if you stayed loyal, you walk away clean. And peace is power. 9. The final truth. Betraying a good heart always comes back later because guilt doesn't expire. Comparison reveals value. Conscience doesn't stay silent forever. And real love leaves an imprint. Not a scar, an imprint.
You might not see their regret. You might never hear their apology, but internally, they know. And sometimes that's heavier than anything you could ever say. If this message resonated with you, comment below, "I don't regret loving." Because loving deeply was never your weakness, it was your strength. And remember, never let someone's betrayal convince you to become cold. The world already has enough broken hearts. Stay rare, stay real, and I'll see you in the next video.